Welcome back to Yorkshire Lad Talks Football and welcome to another video. I'm doing a bit of a different one today, a bit of a, let's say, controversial video. It's very controversial. If you're Spurs or Arsenal fans, turn away now. But today's topic, in fact, let me get all the waffle out of the way first. Before we start, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm on 213 subs at the minute, but yeah, we're going to try push on to 500. And let's get this channel going places, man, because I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure you're all liking my stuff. You keep tuning into my streams. Thanks for the support so far. The season's ended, but the content is still going to come. We've got Euros coming up. I'm doing streams for all the games, I think, if I'm not at the pub or something. But yeah, Euros, keep an eye out for that. Champions League final on Saturday. I'm heading to London, so I might do something along the lines of a vlog. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. If Chelsea win especially, could you imagine the scene, smoke bombs out on the streets outside Stamford Bridge? It'll be good. It'll be brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to do build up to that, previews, etc., predicted lineups. I might even do a joint 11, something like that. But yeah, Chelsea, Man City on Saturday. Keep your eyes peeled for that and the Euros. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video, and make sure you turn your bell notifications on so that you never miss an upload. You don't want to. Lead up to next season is going to be good. I'm going to be talking about transfers, anything that comes up with Chelsea and the footballing world. But yeah, stay tuned. And yeah, let's get on with the video. I'm waffling on now. And today's video it's about whether Leicester City should dethrone Arsenal or Spurs in that top six, that big six, that so-called big six. The season's finished. Premier League is over. There's still one more game to play in the Champions League, and that is Chelsea versus Man City. But after coming to a conclusion at the end of this season, I'm starting to think, do Arsenal and Spurs deserve to be in that top six place when Leicester are performing as well as they are doing? You could say the success of Leicester City has probably gazumped what Arsenal and Spurs have done in the past 10, 15 years, let's say. Leicester have been building up to something like this, what they're achieving now. They're so close to Champions League football every season. They've started to win trophies as well. They won the Premier League, obviously, back in, God, when was it? 2013, 2014? But it was a miracle. Let's call it that. They had a squad probably worth about 20 million and they won the Premier League. And they proved why miracles happen in football. And you know what? Since then, they've continued to build. They had a fairly poor season the season after. But since then, Brendan Rodgers has come in. Unfortunately, in 2018, the owner did die in that horrible incident where he crashed his helicopter coming out the ground, but his son's taken over and they've continued to drive forward as a club, which is a testament to them because they're a brilliant football club. As I've said, they've run a sustainable model where they can afford players, bring them in on the, let's say, cheap, and then look to sell them on in the future for triple the price, and it really works for them. It really does work. They've got a brilliant manager in Brendan Rodgers. They play some brilliant, attractive football, and as I've said, the successes that Leicester have had recently, in recent years anyway, Premier League and now the FA Cup, unfortunately they missed out on Champions League this season because they lost on the final day, missing out after spending almost a full season in the top four. But unfortunately for them, they did miss out, and Chelsea actually got that fourth spot, my club. But yeah, the recent success of Leicester is just brilliant, and that's where the question comes in. Do they deserve to dethrone Arsenal or Spurs in that so-called big six? Because, you know what? Arsenal have a fabulous history. They have a fabulous history. Invincibles. But how long ago was that? 2003, 2004, was it? They went that season, full season unbeaten. It's a big part of Arsenal's history. And it just, how long can you hold on to that for, though? How long can you hold on to that and go, we should be presently in that big six? They're finishing 7th, 8th most seasons now. And they're just plodding along nicely. They're not actually going places. And since Stan Kroenke's taken over that club, since they moved out to the Emirates, it's been like backward steps every season. Wenger left, and it's been Emery in, Mikel Arteta in, and the problems still seem to be there. Kroenke doesn't back the manager. The board doesn't back the manager. They only just got a director of football in Edu recently, and he's proving to be somewhat of a difficulty in their system. But yeah, Arsenal, they're struggling to move forward. And you do wonder, when will they ever get back to that level of the invincible level? And that's the question posed. Should Leicester take that spot? Should they? In recent history, probably yes. But there is another club who don't have the history that Arsenal have. And they don't win anything anyway. And that is Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur, the tournament bottlers, the Premier League bottlers, the bottlers all round. They bottle every big occasion. The saying is, it's a Spursy thing. But yeah, Leicester coming up to this just superiority that they've found. It's just fantastic to see. First of all, Leicester, not a small club like Leicester. They are a big club, but the way at which they're consistently getting into these high areas of the league, getting into finals now, and actually doing well in the Europa League, stuff like that. But Leicester just fantastic. And since the owner died, they've pushed on to greater things. And Arsenal and Spurs are regressing. Simple as. Missing out on Champions Leagues most seasons, both of these clubs. Spurs did have that run in the Champions League where they got to the final. But Arsenal, when did they last get in the Champions League? I can't even remember. They seem to be in the Europa League every season now. And when they do get to a final, they play against Chelsea and they lose it. They're winning the FA Cup still. They do get their FA Cups now and then. But how long can you rely on just getting FA Cups? If you're such a big club like Arsenal, you need to be pushing on to great things. The board needs to be helping the manager. They need to be accessing the players that they need to take this club forward. And yeah, I'm sure it's frustrating to be an Arsenal fan right now. Yes, they have the Invincibles as an accolade in 2003 and 2004. But how long can you go on just talking about that and saying, that's why we're in the Big Six? The so-called Big Six, the so-called six that try to move off into this, branch off into this European Super League, the Big Six. And it's like, hang on a minute, Leicester City, they've won a Premier League and an FA Cup. And I'd say winning a Premier League is more than Spurs and Arsenal have done in the last 15 years. As I've said, Arsenal have won a few FA Cups. Spurs have not won a trophy since 2008, I think it is. That's 13 years. 13 years Spurs have not won a trophy. And it was against Chelsea in that League Cup final. I think it was Jonathan Woodgate who scored the winner. But yeah, Spurs have not won a trophy since then. And Leicester are just moving up the world and going on to bigger and better things than Spurs are, let's be honest. And Leicester have built this model now where I believe they can sustain staying in that upper echelon of the Premier League, because they don't spend loads of money. They bring players in for the cheap, and they can always make a sale or two for 70 and 80 million a time, like they've done with Maguire. They never let players go on the cheap. They got 50 million for Ben Chilwell, and they're bringing brilliant ready-made replacements on the cheap. I think the next one probably to go will be James Maddison or Tielemans, and no doubt they will replace them. In the summer, they're linked with, I've seen Boubacar Samari, I think he's called, from Lille. They're managing to get him for 25 million when Lille apparently wanted about 60 million last summer for him. But they've worked their way around it. They look like they've got that deal over the line. And there was another player I saw them linked with. Jeremy Boga. He plays for Sassuolo in the Serie A. Great little player, tricky winger. He used to be on Chelsea's books. We sold him stupidly for about 2 million. And it's going to come back to bite us in the arse, I'm reckoning. He looks a top player. Top player. I think he's kind of Grealish-like. He wins the most fouls in the Serie A. He can beat a man with ease. He's a bit Hazard-esque. But yeah, Leicester, that sustained model, bringing players in on the cheap, it's going to continue. And Leicester, they've got a potential to stay in this Champions League race for years to come. And that leads me nicely onto, I have to make a conclusion, don't I? I have to make a conclusion. Before we make the conclusion though, let's just summarise what I've gone over in this video. So, the whole debate is, should Leicester replace either Arsenal or Spurs in the so-called Big Six? The so-called Big Six that tried branching off into the Super League. Even though Leicester, Arsenal have been 9th, 8th, 10th for the full season. Tottenham likewise, and Leicester have been in the top 4 for the whole season. Fell out on the last day. Last season they was in a similar situation, but what I'm trying to say is Leicester are doing much better and doing better things than Arsenal and Spurs are doing. And they've been doing that for the last few years. They won the Premier League, now they've won the FA Cup, and they're becoming, I'd say they're cementing their place in that top 4, top 5, top 6. And Arsenal and Spurs are just falling behind. And for Arsenal, how long can you hold on to that invincible season and go, right, this history is, we can carry on this piece of history through our entire existence? And for Spurs, first of all, they don't have the history that Arsenal have, and secondly, they don't win anything anyway in modern games and modern era and modern times. So yeah, that's my conclusion, but I have to come to a kind of final conclusion. Should Leicester replace Spurs or Arsenal in the top 6, big 6? And my answer is not Arsenal, because they've got history, but Spurs, absolutely. They're taking over Spurs in that big 6, and so they should. Spurs are falling way behind. Now Jose's gone, the serial winner. Then you can't see him winning anything anytime soon. They didn't win a trophy. They haven't won a trophy since 2008. They've come so close to Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, but yet bottled it at the last minute. And for me, Leicester have to replace Spurs in that big 6. They're a great club. They run a sustainable model, and just such a well-run, well-drilled club who perform and are performing consistently. So that is my final conclusion. Leicester should replace Spurs in the top 6. And if you like the video, that is the end. Drop a like on the video. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing lots of stuff for the Euros. Champions League final on Saturday. We're doing previews, etc., like joint 11s, all that kind of stuff. And then, obviously, as we go into the summer, we're going to have lots to talk about transfers, etc. It's going to be an exciting summer. So, just because the season's over, don't think I am departing. I'm still here, mate. I'm still here. Yorkshire Lad Talks Football, and up the Chels. Peace out.